Hi guys, welcome to another episode of The Business Plus, and today we'll be having a really amazing episode. And for this episode, of course, you can talk to us on MBC ITV Facebook page on the comment section if you have any question that you want to ask. And I'll be telling you, because I know you'll have really many questions about this, because today we are here to help you who have a business ama you need employees for your company. So I have a company today that is called Starffrite. So one of the services that Starffrite wanna offer is that if you have a company, they give you good employees, because we've realized companies, they just employ people, alafu with time mnaanza kufuta watu kazi, we have people are laid off, and we're just wondering what is happening in companies. So you have a company and inakuja ku make everything beautiful because they're bringing to you the right employees for your business and for your company. And today I'm with Martha Mushiri. She is the co-founder and director of Starffrite, and she will be telling us how did she come up with such an idea, because we say it's all about getting a gap in the society and just knowing how you'll feel it and make money using that, because we say business is more than meets the eye. So let's meet Martha Mushiri, and she will be walking us through the journey. Hello.
Hi.
And thank you so much, by the way, for having us today. We're really interested just to know how you came up with this idea, because it's a really unique idea in the market space. But even before we get there, tell us about Starffrite. What is Starffrite?
Thank you so much, Rachel. I want to say that Starffrite is a human resource consulting firm. It was established back in 2019, and we have been in the market all throughout to date. So our core mandate, we have two categories of clients. We have the corporate client, the biashara client, and we also have the individual client, you as a person. So we mostly focus on businesses. You find that you have maybe a hardware and you're looking for you're looking to hire employees, or you have a factory, maybe you have a plant that makes tissue, or you have a plant that makes shoes or polish, whatever you make. So you find that you want to have policies in place that we run the operations of every day. So what we come through through the corporate world, we formulate policies for you, policies that will be followed. That is HR policy. So that way you are able to define your working hours, the terms and conditions of you operating in this business. You are also able to define maybe the relationship when employees should be when they understand when they should be go for off days and when the reporting hours and such things. Yes. So
how did you come up with such an idea? Because as I've said, it's a very unique business idea in the market space right now. I'd say most of the people wakikuja, I want to do something that will bring me money immediately. So I wouldn't think of nitafutie company ingine employees, you know. So how did you come up with this idea? Ulisema ilianza 2019, right? So how did you really come up with the idea?
The idea came up through friends. I could find I have so many friends. I have a friend who does, she produces flour from potatoes, and she was finding it difficult to manage employees who were in her plant in Nyahururu, and then also to manage the employees who are doing sales here in Nairobi. So I came on board as a friend. I offered the chance to formulate her the HR policy, and then I went ahead and did the first recruitment for her. So I gave the position she had that had gaps, I recruited for her. That is kumtafutia wafanyikazi. And then going forward, she could come back consulting about HR matters. How do I manage this? There's an employee who resigned, and yes, she had not given me a notice. How do I go about it? How do I give her dues? All that. So what Starffrite now, I saw there was that gap in the market. So that's why I started Starffrite. And then when we started it now, we came up with that family policy formulation. We also run payroll. If you have employees and you don't want to manage how to be paying them, us will be the ones paying your employees on your behalf.
Okay, so how do you do that?
It's all about HR. So there's HR information system that we use, and we have ERP that we use also to integrate the employees you have versus the pay you have, paying out the NHIF, NSSF, and all that, all the statutories that you have to pay. We also, other than just recruiting for you employees, we make sure we engage them, and engaging them is taking them for trainings. We also now offer employee trainings. The gap that you're going to see, maybe let's say today we have recruited for you a customer care manager, and then you find that there is a gap in the way they are performing their duty. So we come in and offer training for your employees.
So do you do that for free?
No. Every package has its costing. Also, it's determinant with the number of employees you want us to train for you, how many days, they are usually in topic form, so it's not like a cost like the way I can tell you this glass is 200 bob. No, there's a lot of factors to consider before we can quote for you. Yes, so we also train the employees for you. When we train them for you, that's a different package. And then there's also motivating employees so that they feel every day they want to come to work. So you want them to get to know each other. So you, Rachel, I want to know you, you want to know me, mother, other than the way I tell you, right, for me this invoice, give me send a client. So we want to bond as employees. So what we do, we also offer team building services for companies. We package these team building services for the organization, even if it's a hardware. You may have a hardware in here in Nairobi, you have another one in Kitengela, another one in Thika. So when you look at those branches you have, you find you have 18 employees. We just sacrifice 1 day or 2 days out of the busy schedules, and then we take them for team building or even sports day. And I can see nowadays customers are coming out of the way, and now they're looking for how to engage employees other than employment. So we also form something like hiking for the employees. They can do, and it's like a physical activity for them, where they're going to shed a few of calories and feel energetic to come back to work. So that's all we do with the business world.
Nice. And you've also mentioned that you have a specific clients, no, for the individuals. Sasa kama mimi, what are the services that you offer for individuals?
Okay, for individuals, a person like you find that you're sending so many job applications and you're not being called out for interviews. So what we do, we look at the CV. How have you formatted your CV, and what are the wordings you have put there in your CV? So me as a recruiter or the person you send out looking for job, when they see your CV, do they see a serious person looking for work? Do they struggle to understand what you have done and who you are? Because CV talks a lot. CV is like a brochure for you, an individual. When I get a brochure here today and I read about Starffrite, how quick do I understand about them? So a CV, when I open your CV, Rachel, how quick do I understand who is Rachel, what she has done, and where she is today, and what she can offer to my company? So we help to formulate CV. We also do interview coaching. In case you have, we have done a CV for you, now you have secured an interview. You want to know when you go for that interview, how do I present myself? How do I tackle questions? All that, we also offer that. We also have another thing, there's something called LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a platform just like Facebook or Instagram, whereby now it's more business related, where people post about what they do. Like you, Charity, being in the TV station, you post what you do every day about, you may not post every day, but you post what you're doing with your work. So that way you are able to sell yourself in the business world to other people. So anyone who is looking maybe to hire a person who is doing what you're doing, and that's where the headhunting thing came from. So someone may decide, I don't want to advertise this, but since I usually see Charity saying she has gone shoot a show here, met a client, they have done some business advertisement with the client, I want to consider her to employ her. So that person may decide to approach you and offer you a job instead of going out there and advertise. So we also now form that LinkedIn page for you. Yes, and then we train you on how to keep it updated every day, so the other world, the business world or the corporate world, can understand who a charity is, and they can now you can integrate in that world as well.
Okay.
Yes.
So you've also mentioned that you help businesses or companies get employees.
Yes.
But again, I understand that if I, as the owner of a company, I want maybe a secretary, I'd be very careful na ni secretary mgani ninaletewa,
yes.
right? So how do you guys just make sure that you bring to me someone who's well qualified for what I need and someone who would meet my qualifications?
So before we recruit, we sit down with you as the owner of the business. I want so much to give in the area of SMEs. Let me take an example of a person who has a meat processing factory.
Okay.
That's at the beginning, yeah? So you have meat processing farm and you want a secretary who will be stationed to do maybe the invoicing and receiving in the product that you are about to produce. So what we sit down is understand the role of this person. And by understanding the role of this person, it's first of all understanding the duties that this person will come and do. And that is what we call JD, job description. So you being the owner of the business, you give her the job description of this person. Then we go to something called person specifications. Person specification is you know your client and you know this secretary what, like the kind of people she's interacting with. Allow me to use she. The kind of people she will be interacting with. So should this person be what we call she should not maybe be hot-tempered, because maybe when she's handling these people, there's someone who is rude, and if she's hot-tempered, she will be forced to talk back rudely, and you see this will
taint the picture of the company.
Taint the picture of the company.
Right.
So you find that. And a person specification will tell us we want maybe a person who is not quick to anger, because this role you will meet very many people, and if you're rude it won't suit you.
True.
You see. So you give us the person specification of the person you want. You want someone who is humble, someone who has understood softwares and everything. Then we go to the job specifications now. Like you want someone who is computer literate, so because they'll be key in some information in the computer and everything else that you need. So we don't just sit down and tell you this is the kind of secretary you need. No, it's you as the owner of the company to tell us more about the role.
Okay.
When you tell us more about the role, we are going to format it. The JD, if you don't have a JD, we usually format it for you, though it is still a small cost.
Okay.
But you give us so that we can format them in a professional way. And then we format them, and then we have the person specifications, the job specifications as well, and then we have a whole job advert, and then we can look for this person and a secure position for this person in your workplace.
Wonderful.
Other than that, we also still up a filling in. We also do job analysis to understand all the operations of your company. When you're able to understand all the operations of your company, we're able to tell you, this company, you don't need even these 10 employees. It's like you're duplicating some roles. So we look at that and we are able to tell you, in this company, after doing the job analysis, these companies, you can operate with only 6 employees. And the first person should hold this position by this name and do these roles. The other person, this can be a secretary, the other one can be a driver having this role or that. Then that way, if you have already existing employees, we try to secure them into those different positions. And then the vacancies that will arise, we help you now fill those vacancies, but with the right people. And then now we help you retain them by maybe running the payroll and now doing the training and engaging the employees so that they can exist there for long. And remember, Rachel, once you take care of their employees, they are able to market you well. Because if you have dull employees, their production will be low. But if you have well-psyched and well-energized employees, they will sell your company better. So that's why we want to take care of your employees, being the first thing before we can take care of your customers.
Okay. And for a company that is feeling like I have enough employees, but my work is not really growing, my business is not really growing, and maybe me as the owner of the company, I'm feeling like my employees are the problem, and I've done I've brought them together, they've done activities together, so I feel kama team building is not enough for these. Do you have something else that you guys offer for that? Ama, it's all about just bringing in employees that you have already trained?
We usually advocate that you engage your employees by also having feedback from them. You may think you as the employer, you have done everything. But if you're not interacting with them, other than the performance appraisals that usually happen, performance appraisals is you look at the performance of the employees, they're able to state what they are going through. You look at where is the problem.
So it's like getting feedbacks from the employees.
Yes, you get feedback from them, because you may think you're motivating them enough, but maybe you're not.
Right?
Maybe you are paying your employees 15,000 because maybe that's the much your company can afford, or the minimum pay. But maybe these employees feel, with this struggle, by the time I'm getting here, I'm getting hungry. You can add another format by providing your employees with lunch. You see, you can contract an outside caterer who will be providing them with lunch. And this time of going out to hustle lunch, or even the money you're paying them is not enough for them to buy lunch. They feel, hey, our boss is valuing us and is taking care of us. Because you may find someone who will provide lunch, a plate for 200 bob and above. And that way you are still motivating your employees, and they're able to concentrate with their work, and the production may rise. Yes.
Wow. So you've told me that you're not working alone, and you didn't found the Starffrite company alone. So I'd want to know, what exactly do you do as the director of Starffrite, and why did you really decide to do it with someone else and not just found it by yourself? But we'll be talking about that. I want us to get into the 5-minute tip, the business 101. Then we'll be coming back. Remember, this is the Business Plus, and this is where you get ideas where you can start a business, or if you're in such a business already, we're giving you ideas how to make it grow, because business is more than meets the eye. Let's get into the Business 101. We'll be coming right back.
Hello, my name is Martha Moshiri, co-founder of Starffrite Human Resource Africa, and also the managing director. I would want to give tips to business owners about business management in terms of employee management. If you're having a high rate of employee turnover, maybe it's high time you reconsider how you're managing your employees, and also the factors that you have put in place for employee management. So you may start with policy formulation. We have different policies. Currently, businesses are being affected by the social media. Every employee wants to be on phone. So if you find that the phone are affecting the way your business runs, you can have a policy we call social media policy that is going to formulate, to stipulate the time and when employees should use phones. You can also put in place safety measures in your workplace, and you can establish occupational health and safety policy on the safety of employees, especially where those who are dealing with machines and everything. You can also formulate now HR policy. This is the general one that stipulates the relationship, everyday relationship with the employer. That is working hours, when to go for leave, how to terminate each other. If you want to leave me, how do we leave each other? Do we leave each other in anyhow anyone feels like? No, there's a policy that says you give me notice, and if you don't, then you should pay this in lieu. And if I want also to fire you, this is the procedure I should use. This one, you find that it eliminates a lot of court cases, because you find you may fire an employee, she'll go to court and sue you, and the other way around. So we also, the other tip is employee management or relations. The way you handle your employees, try to understand them, try to have feedback from them, how you are handling them, and that way you're going to know the problem of what they are facing every day, and you'll be able to maybe sort it out and have a good relation with your employees. The other thing is training. If you feel like your employees are having any gap on everything they are doing today, look for professionals like us who are going to handle trainings, be it customer care training, be it financial management. You find your employees are now and then coming for what we call advance. You should look for someone who is going to give them financial management, individual financial management. So that this backlog of every time your employees are knocking, I want salary advance, I want salary advance, you can look for professionals who will take them through financial management training. The other thing we do is now payroll. You have to manage your payroll well. You have to pay back the statutory for your employees, so that also if your employees are falling sick often, if you're paying back the statutory, you will find that they are able to afford their medical bills because they will be catered for by something like NHIF. So that is for the corporate world or the business world. The other business tip I would want to give is for you job seeker. What are you doing about yourself? How is your CV? If you haven't formatted your CV according to the current format that is happening today in the business world, it's high time you format your CV to be presentable and to attract anybody who want to recruit, and also to sell yourself, because CV is like your individual or personal brochure. Once I see your CV, do I want to know you more, or will I just bypass it? The other thing is about your presentation. How is your dressing code? How is your hair kept? All that talks a lot when it comes to when you're looking for employment. Also your communication. Are you going there looking for employment shouting? When you're called for an interview, how do you communicate? Are you able to speak yourself out and convince the employer that you're able to do this job? Or do you go sit down and shy off from saying truly what you are able to do, and you miss that opportunity? So communication matters a lot when you're doing job seeking. The other thing that I want to say is about when you get that job, because we have seen people get a job, they keep it for 2 months and that's it. They don't work longer than 2 months. How are you handling yourself when you get that employment? So a few tips I would want to say is, when you get any opportunity, avoid any excuses of why you're not delivering that job. Go there, try to, when you're given induction, try to learn what you're required to do in that job as quick as possible. And then the other thing, avoid any excuses. If your phone is distracting you, you may put it on silent and keep it away from your desk. Have your 4 hours of working continuously without looking for your phone, and then maybe decide lunch hour is when I look through my phones, I answer any missed calls, or I go through YouTube or WhatsApp and see the messages that I have there. And lastly, make sure if you're given a job, you give out your job very quick. If it's a position where you should give out reports, don't wait until the deadline or past deadline to give the reports. Give them early in advance, and that way you'll be able to integrate in the environment that you have been given to work, and also you are able to drive even to a position of maybe getting a promotion. Thank you so much. Hello, my name is Martha Moshiri, co-founder of Starffrite Human Resource Africa and managing director, and you are watching Business Plus.
Exactly. So we are back after the Business 101, and I'm sure that you've learned something, a thing or two that you need for you to start such a business. Na tunasemanga biashara tu si ya kuanza kuuza products nini. We have businesses that you sell services, and this is one of them. And I can tell you for sure, if you have the push for it, if you love this, you can make money from it. We say business is more than meets the eye. So we are back, and I really wanted to ask about why exactly is it really important for you to start a business ukiwa na mtu mwingine as a partnership rather than just doing it alone?
Okay, there are a lot of factors to consider, and also some benefits, I would say. For me, as an individual, there was the aspect of looking for, everybody has strengths and weaknesses. So there was what I was stronger in by self-awareness. There was what I was stronger in, and I knew my weaknesses.
Okay.
So by bringing in a second person who is now my partner, I ensure that this second person will have what I'm weak at.
So it's like complementing.
Yes.
Right.
So that when I bring in my 100% or 90% of what I'm good in, what I'm weak in, instead of having that gap, there's another person who is meeting that gap.
Nice.
And that way you are able to run the operations well, or the business well.
Okay.
Yes.
So what do I need for me to start such a HR company that will help other companies. In fact, no, because for the Starffrite, it's all about helping other companies with their employees. So it's really not about yourself. And I understand that really takes a lot. So what does it really take for me to have such a company?
If you're looking to do HR, first of all, you must be a HR by profession. Because myself, I'm a HR by profession. I'm registered with the Institute of Human Resource Management, and for you have to have that. You have also to have certification for HR, all that kind of things. Also now, when it comes to registration of business, you know, every business has to be registered. There's a company registration, there are all those processes. There are different kind of licenses, there are different kind of permits you need. So depending on what kind of business you want to establish, first of all, ensure you get to know the kind of licenses you need. You should ensure if there's any papers you need to run, because I don't think if anybody today wanted to open a law firm, you just go and pick anybody and come and bring them to run that law firm for you. You have to look for people who have experience in law, they have studied law, all that line.
Yeah, the right people for it.
The right people for it. So it depends with the industry, but learn what is needed, the regulators of that industry, the regulation permits you need, all that.
Okay.
Yes.
And just, I'd want to know what's the process, right? From let's say I want to start such a business, right? And I've done HR, as you've said, and I've just thought about all the permits that I need. Na sasa niko nazo. Now I want to start such a business. Sasa ianze kurun. What's the process? Who do I need to work with? Can I just like be me and my partner and tumeamua, no, we're starting this? How do I get the clients? How do I get the companies to work with? What's the whole process? Mpaka sasa ni stabilize.
You need a lot of things to put in place. You need capital.
Okay.
That is undefined, because it's going to depend on how big you want to start. You need capital even to run advertisement, all that. You also need to have other professions, to respect other professions, because for me, I think for us, we had to engage lawyers in terms of having registering the business in the legal way. You also need to do a lot of networking. Networking is now bringing on board people of like minds to let them know what you're doing, and then they go and advocate out there to sell your business. You now also have to target, you start at home, your friends. These friends, let them know what they are doing. If they cannot be your clients, who is the other friend that they have that they think can be your client?
Word of mouth.
Yes, word of mouth. So that word of mouth, that's where you start. You also need things like website. You have to have a strong website. And by the way, people can look our website at www.starffrite.co.ke.
Okay.
Yeah. So and Starffrite is STAFFRITE. Yes. So you start a website, so that website, if a person can just hear your name and they are not able to understand you, they can go now and read about you. And where are they going to read about you? It's their website. So for website, it costs also money to host the domain, to have the emails where your emails will be coming through and everything. Then of course nowadays business advertisement is through social media platforms. You have now to have people who are well conversant with the operations of social media platforms. That is LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, all that, so that they can also advertise that business there. So there's a lot. I don't think I can be able to exhaust everything.
But at least you started. You started, and now if you want to start this business, you know where's the foot ground, where are you supposed to start from. And as you've said, it doesn't really take a lot. If you have the passion, you studied HR, and you now have the push for it. That's just it. Anza kampuni, wewe just get the permits that you need and start from there. In fact, amesema that you can start with your friends, with your families, word of mouth. Wewe waulize, is there a company that you know we can work with? Right? Umesema we can start from that. So it really doesn't have to start an advertisement. You're so much money. You just use word of mouth and you will grow. It takes time. So what are some of the challenges that you faced from you started this business?
Challenges was number one, getting clients. Of course, they are not there already in the market.
Right.
And nowadays also, when you look at the way people are handling business, the economy, especially after COVID, so many things came to affect the operations of business.
Yeah.
So you find that before you get that one client that you're going to convince to give you fully that that whole role that you're looking for to acquire, it's kind of a bit challenging.
Okay.
Yes.
So the issue mostly that you've really highlighted is about getting a company that will give you, like, will tell you, I want this kind of person with all the roles, enough for you to translate that into getting someone who will fit that exactly right.
Yes.
But you've said that it doesn't really take a lot as long as you really understand your job very well.
Yes.
Okay, so what is the biggest gap? What would you say is the gap that you've seen in this area of business?
The gap that I have noticed in terms of HR recruitment.
Yeah.
I don't think I've noticed any gap.
So things are going well.
Yeah, I would have run to create a solution for that.
Okay.
Other than now, the gap that I saw and I created, that gave me the idea to start the company. Yeah.
All right, perfect. So thank you for having us today. I'm sure that watu wenye ambao wanataka kuanza this business, people who are really interested with the HR business, they are now ready to start. And the companies that are looking for the right employees, this is the place to be. You have to get the right employees. Ndio tu hiyo mambo ya after every 1 month you're having an employee leaving, after every 2 weeks you're having an employee leaving, because you need to have the very right employees who understand your business and who are ready to work with you. And also, if you've already started such a business and you want to grow, this is the place to be. In Business Plus, we give you the tips that you need for your business to grow. So for this episode, you can ask all the questions that you want on our MBCI page, MBCI TV Facebook page, on the comment section. We'll be getting all your questions. We'll be having a repeat of the same on Friday at 7:30 in the PM. But till then, we will see you in the next episodes. Bye-bye.